We are live, I believe. Let me go ahead and check and make sure we're good. We're talking House of Dragons tonight. Make sure you subscribe. I'm trying to get this to you every week. But I got a kid, y'all. So she cannot be watching House of Dragons. It's not setting the example I'm looking to set. These fucking people in this show are fucking scandalous. So just making sure we're yeah, cool. We're rocking. All right. So yeah, just want to get into it. Coming live to you, Sit and Politic. You already know what time it is. This is episode 2. So I think it was called Rhaenyra the Cruel. They try to hold that back from you every week, so you don't know. I guess you don't have no spoiler alerts on the side of HBO episodes. So not really much of a spoiler though. Just to let you know. So how the episode opens up is you have everybody in the Red Keep. They're freaking out. It's pandemonium. Obviously, last episode, the baby died. They fucking killed the baby like savages. Blood and cheese. They sent 2 people in there. One of them was the rat catcher. And they did the deed. There was a son for a son. That's what the whole last episode is based around. So we picked it up right there this episode. Everybody's running around. What's peculiar is you have all these people running around in the Red Keep. A lot of them got cloaks on and armor on, you know, those guard type people. They were nowhere to be seen last episode. Where were they? Where were they? We want to know genuinely. Where were they? Where were any of these guards or any, like, it was a ghost town in the Red Keep last episode. I mean, they were just wandering around room to room. They ran into a maid, which we talked about last week. We thought that might be in relation to the cripple, the cripple that's walking around scheming all the time. I think his name's Laris Strong. So he was in this episode a little bit too, still creeping, but he wants people to underestimate him. So he's playing the background a little bit. But we see through the bullshit. We know he literally killed his own family, had his own family killed, his brother and his father, had them killed so he can fucking jerk off on the lady's feet. That's like literally what happened. So craziness. So pandemonium all throughout the castle. Like I said, you're seeing a lot of guards. You get to see everybody's reaction. Aegon, the king, he's going insane. He's breaking shit. Everybody's kind of taking it personal, by the way. You're seeing it, and I don't mean taking it personal in the way that Michael Jordan did, so they could rise to the occasion. This was more of like they were internalizing this kid being killed, and they all took it as a personal slight. And it was interesting to see them kind of viewing that way. Like Allison says at one point, she's like, I'm being punished. It's like, you really think you're being punished for being a whore? You think that's why this baby got its head cut off? I don't want to. I don't want anybody to have to live in a world where that's true. That's the reasoning behind it. There's a lot more behind it, and a lot more scheming, and a lot more fuckery, and also not just her shit as to why this happened. But she's definitely partially responsible. So the Greens, yeah, you get to see their response. Aegon's destroying the whole model of Valyria that his dad built. So that was kind of, I guess, symbolic in a way. It's kind of interesting because he's about to go to war. Season 1, most of what we saw Viserys doing was just chipping away at this fucking model structure that he was building for 40 years. I mean, the thing is, as the king, he knew he needed to stay busy. He's like, look, stay busy, keep your hands busy, you know, go outside, touch grass, as they say, but then come back inside and work on your model for 6 hours straight, and don't talk to your wife, don't raise your kids. Don't get caught up in that. Just live a laid back life as a king and don't cause too many problems. And it's interesting because his sort of legacy, it does hang over this episode quite a bit. Because you're kind of, you know, this is another episode pre-war, well, pre-full out war, I guess I should say, where you're seeing these like little plays for who's going to get the support of the people and support of Bannerman, and they're still doing that. They're sending people out to visit with them, make their case, so on and so forth. So yeah, Aegon's throwing a little fit. Alyssa, she's saying, why the hell am I being punished? Otto, on the other hand, he's saying, okay, I'm seeing an opportunity here. And this is where I get to what I was just talking about as far as they're seeing. They're still trying to win people over to come over to their side. It's pick a side, Metro Boomin style. So pick a side, black or green. It's not hard for me. I'm official tissue in the red the black camp. These green bastards really lost me on this episode for sure. There's not very many winning personalities over there. But by the way, so like I was saying, Otto Hightower, the hand of the king / grandfather / pop, he's like, look, this is actually an opportunity. It sucks that kid died. You know, he's definitely is like, that was a shitty thing to happen, but people aren't gonna like that. Nobody likes when kids die. Like when kids like that die, it's fucked up. Pretty much universally, people don't like that. So he's like, we're gonna make it a thing. He wants to basically do some political theater, have him walk through the streets with a funeral. They sew the fucking kid's head back on. That was nuts. And they do play with you for a minute during the parade they were having. They end up messing with you where they end up getting stuck in a hole, like a pothole, fucking shitty streets, and you end up thinking like, hey, is this kid gonna end up falling off the carriage and is his head gonna pop off style? You know, thankfully, well, spoiler review, that didn't happen. Thank God. But the mom sister, fucking whatever the fuck, she is going through it. She didn't want to be a part of that. They literally forced her to be a part of this. Her kid just died, and they're like, no, get your ass out there. You guys are going through the streets. She's like, I literally don't want anybody to be around me. They're like, no, take your ass out there. You're the main attraction. And you're just basically the whole point is get sympathy for our side, make them seem like complete dickheads and assholes, and they kind of succeed in that, by the way, and that'll kind of come back around. I will say this episode was really succinct in that way, where it was like there was a oh my bad, let's see comment here. Michael, what's going on, man? Appreciate you for tapping in with us tonight. It is late, so I appreciate you hopping in here. But this episode was very succinct, man. There was a lot of things they set up in the beginning of the episode that you got quick payoff by the end of this episode. And this whole kind of this Otto sending them out there to be a show for the people, you definitely see that end up coming back in an interesting way. So we'll end up getting back to it. But it's very cold political move. You know, mom, sister, queen, they're getting put on display. Let's see. Oh, and by the way, I want to point out, this is a little bit of a tease. Later on in the episode, this guy, okay, so who puts the queen and puts the mom queen, puts their ass out on the fucking stroll and says, hey, look, you know, get sympathy for us, da 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 da. This guy gets shit canned later on in the episode. Not for that. Okay, I want to be very clear. He gets shit canned fired later on in the episode, and it's not for that. So that's the craziest shit in the world, right? Like, the queen dies, you're like, bitch, get your ass out there and cry. Nah. And I don't want to gloss over this because he doesn't have many scenes in this episode. But Aemon, we talked about him last week. Old One Eye, Cotton Eye Joe. He was like in the brothel, and he's getting rubbed down by Abuela, and you know, he's got some mommy issues that he's working through. She's just rubbing on him. He's skinny. He's fucking skin and bones. It's really a disgusting sight. He's going to get his ass whooped if he gets in a real fight. I'm going to be honest. The fucking armor does a lot for my guy as far as like looking like a formidable opponent. So yeah, you get to see him in his loincloth, and he's getting rubbed down and oiled down by Abuela. And she's just telling him it's all right. He says, hey, look, I fucked up. I didn't mean to kill that kid last season. You know, I went a little far. I do feel bad about that. He's kind of saying like, oh, I realized they were here to kill me. He's also flattered, by the way, on some like straight up anime shit. I don't know anybody out there that watches anime, but he literally is like, I love that they sent somebody here to kill me because that means that they see me as a worthy opponent. If anybody's seen Baki, it was those kind of vibes. Aemon doesn't need to hassle, bro. Has a whole dragon nuke. Well, and that is facts. That is 100% facts. And definitely I'm going to get into that because the dragon stuff, and you put it perfectly too with the nuke thing. They are treated like that. You hear a lot of the dragon on dragon combat being previewed and some dialogue being previewed from later episodes where they're basically saying that. They're like, hey, we can't go to war dragon on dragon because if we do that, then literally we're all fucked. So they're spoken about in this world the same way as we would think of like nukes, where it's like just me having nukes and me knowing you have nukes kind of prevents me from even using my full power and my nukes, because I know you can retaliate in a crazy way. So I think that's really cool how that's being set up. And I know I'm sure anybody that's watching this watched Game of Thrones and saw fucking Daenerys, even though the last season was dog shit, she fucked up King's Landing really bad. With her dragon. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, definitely picking a side. By the way, Michael, I'd love to hear what side you're on, bro. I mean, because Aemon is a problem, but I mean, let's talk about it. They're shitheads over there. I actually like Aemon, though. He's probably my favorite character on that side of the conflict. He's interesting. I like how they're setting him up as a real threat. I want to see how all that pans out. I like his kind of contrast to his brother, how he's very kind of like stoic and thought out and cerebral, and his brother's very emotional and over the top and just making stupid ass decisions, like what we'll get into here at the end of the episode. The end of the episode, we got some bonehead shit we're going to talk about. And I don't know how I feel about the episode because of that, to be honest. But either way, so on Rhaenyra's side, after the kid, everybody figures out that the kid died. Rhaenyra's like, what in the fuck is going on, Daemon? You killed a fucking baby. That's fucked up. I can't stand for that. My kid just died. Now you got people. She makes the very astute observation of, hey, people aren't going to like this. This will fuck up my claim a little bit. Otto's already on that time. He's already taken advantage of that. But she's like, hey, I know that's what's going to happen. Damon's just like, hey, basically, I'm not going to take responsibility for it. No. He's wrong. And he definitely should take some responsibility. I'm going to be honest. But one thing I didn't like about Rhaenyra, she said, and I quote, I want a son for a son. She left it wide open. She can't sit here and act like she literally has, like, her hands are completely clean. No, you fucked up a little bit. You said something and he took, like I said, I'm not trying to absolve Daemon. I fucking don't even like Daemon. But in this case, and I fuck with Rhaenyra heavy. She's one of my favorite characters in the entire show. And like I said, I'm definitely rooting for Team Black. I threw on the black tee. I wasn't wearing this when I was watching the show. I'll be honest. I was not wearing this. I threw this on just for the video. We're blacked out. So definitely I'm rocking with them. But at the end of the day, come on, you could have been a little bit more clear. You could have said, like, hey, if it's not him, don't do anything. She said she wanted Aemon, but then she said son for a son. You left it open. I'm gonna be honest. So just go ahead and share in a little bit of the responsibility. Aemon on Team G. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm kind of on the same page. Aemon is definitely cool. I'm really interested to see how they end up fleshing that character out the rest of the way. And I will say, by the way, we talked about on the last episode review with Aegon, we saw some of his like characteristics that we were like, okay, that's probably gonna be problematic if the wrong thing happens to him, where he's like, give my son a fucking piggyback ride on the council. Like, that's all fun and games until that person becomes a straight up psychopath because their, for example, son dies. So then some of those more mundane characteristics, they start to really become more problematic now that he's on this like war path and he's trying to do crazy shit. But so Rhaenyra, there, like I said, we're in Dragonstone. Rhaenyra's telling him, you fucked up. You literally shit the bed on this one, buddy. And she says that she can't trust him. He's like, you're like your dad. You're a pussy. You won't fucking put your foot down to take power. Da, 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 da. And he basically says, fuck you, bitch. I'm getting on my dragon and leaving. And like I say, he makes that Viserys comment where he's like, you're like Viserys. They also have a little bit of a back and forth where she calls his ass out. I like this. We talked about this last week where it's like, is he, because when he countered them killing Luke, I think the entire time, at least I'll say for myself, I was questioning whether he really wanted to retaliate because he had some love for Luke as a stepson / nephew. It gets weird. Or if it was just an opportunistic thing, like rated R superstar style, like Edge. That's kind of the vibe I get. It's like, okay, this is an opportunity to be kind of justified in doing the fuck shit I want to do anyways. Oh, yeah, Aemon definitely does, man. When he was sitting down there, nuzzling underneath the breasts of the beautiful Latina grandmother in the horse quarter. Yeah, he definitely has some mommy issues. And I'll say, look, my woman actually pointed out she peeped the mommy issues from the beginning. I'm not going to say that has anything to do with like her being with me and having like some experience. It doesn't. But episode 1 or last season, I don't remember when, but she did point out to me. She's like, hey, he has an issue with his mom. There's some like deep seated issues, just because of like how he like talked about her. And even last episode, he was talking about she talks with 2 tongues and like basically she's a sneaky bitch. And he was talking to Sir Cole about that, who is fucking his mom. Crazy. Why did he feel so comfortable to talk to him about that? Does he not know? Do they not know? That's the crazy. I got to get to towards the end of this episode just because, there's things we have to talk about with that motherfucker. Sir Cole, he's just a fucking disgusting bastard. But yeah, Damon's like, I'm out of here. After he leaves, there's a dragon spotted flying around King's Landing. Some of the pirates and shit like that, they spot him. That, I think, is one of Damon's daughters. Rhaenyra sends her on a little side mission. I imagine that's going to come back next episode in full swing. And there's going to be some serious consequences for that. I mean, you're not just going to send a dragon down by the Capitol and think it's not going to be shit. So I don't think we were clear with what her intentions were sending her down there, but I think that's something to look out for. And they do just barely tease it, so that's why I think that's gonna be bigger than what they showed in this episode anyways, because they made a point to show the whole conversation that was a Rhaenyra move too, and since they want to sit there and act like Rhaenyra can't make any mistakes, and she's like, oh, I didn't fucking, why did you do that, even though I told you son for a son, and you literally told them the exact same thing. And then she has the gall, oh my god, this was crazy. She has the gall because they asked, they're the fucking cheese and blood people. They're like, well, if we can't find the guy you're looking for, what should we do? They want to act like she would have asked that. She literally asked Daemon, and I'm not bullshitting. This is to clear her name, by the way. This is the writers trying to clear her name when this happens. Let's just be clear about writing. She's like, well, what did you tell them if they couldn't find the person? Bitch, you said a son for a son, goddammit. You said a son for a son. Now you're sitting here acting like I'm fucking crazy, just sending them out there to fucking kill little kids. She really did do Daemon a little dirty here. I don't like Daemon, but I'm just saying it warranted a conversation. It definitely warranted a conversation. A 4-year-old got decapitated, but she could have taken a little bit of responsibility and had a little bit of understanding as far as like mistakes happen. He did say like, hey, it was a mistake. He wasn't saying that like. He wasn't denying that it took place. He was like, hey, man, fuck. Okay, yeah, a fucking 5-year-old did die. My bad on that one, brutally. Fucked up, though. So either way, Sir Cole, he's a son of a bitch. He's fucking literally, he's leader of the watch or whatever, fucking Kingsguard for 5 days, they say. Within 5 days of him become leader of the King's Watch, this fucking guy has the heir to the kingdom killed on his watch while fucking that heir's grandmother. Obvious Daemon said, kill Jaehaerys. Well, does Aemon have mommy issues? Well, I mean, I don't think that Daemon did say kill Jaehaerys, to be honest. He said a son for a son. And then he said, I think if he told them kill Aemon, I honestly don't remember. But I don't think he did say that. Now, to be clear, if phones existed and they called him up and they were like, hey, Daemon, so look, so Aemon's not here, but we have this little baby here. What should we do? I mean, am I denying that Daemon would have said, fucking do it? Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think he would have, but I don't think that he actually did, like order that clearly. I'm saying he's wrong, though. I'm saying he's wrong. He's been wrong. He's been wrong since season 1. He was like trying to fuck his niece and shit. He's wild. I personally hope Aemon actually wins that battle, to be honest. If they fight, I hope Aemon gets his ass. But so Sir Cole, though, so he took over 5 days. Within 5 days, the heir dies. He ends up going to fucking Eric, that's loyal. So Eric number 2, that's loyal to the crown and shit. And he's like, hey, your fucking cape is dirty, bitch. By the way, go walk into the Dragonstone, walk into the enemy's kingdom, and just kill the fucking bastard queen bitch or whatever they were calling her through the episode. He's like, well, that seems like it's going to actually be really hard. And he's like, but you look like a guy that works over there. Go do it. Fucking, he does do it. Like, which is why, I mean, I got to say, that guy follows orders on another level, and I salute it. No, that's fair. No, Michael, that is 100% fair. I wish I could put these up on the screen when I'm doing when I'm using the streaming uh software that I use. I can put people's comments up. This might end up getting me to go back to using that. I was just trying to test streaming straight through YouTube. But Michael, I want to give you a shout out for that because, brother, I think that is actually a excellent point. Yeah, in Otto's words, he does highlight that. He kind of, and Otto is a little bit of like the voice of reason of this episode. He's pointing out a lot of people's faults and how a lot of people are just dumbasses. Even though he's a slimy motherfucker himself, he points out some correct criticisms. But so you have Twin Magic pulls up to Dragonstone super quick, and like I said, just walks up in there like it's nothing. There's two guards. He's like, fucking, these aren't the George you're looking for. He just walks right through the shit. All the way up to Rhaenyra, pretty much. He has to sneak around a little bit, but honestly, not really. This would have been an easy stealth mission. Any game puts this in front of you, easy money, easy stealth. So didn't even really have to stick to the shadows. Jumped in the shadows one time is because his brother was walking by, which then he got caught. He ends up finding Rhaenyra. He thinks, oh, I'm about to strike her ass. Fucking his twin comes back around because his twin senses were tingling, and he's like, oh, he's here, like on some like force shit or whatever. So he ends up doubling back, and they have a whole battle. By the way, I don't want to forget though. Well, actually, no, I'll save that. We'll end with that. So yeah, the fucking Eric battle ensues. They're going back and forth. There's one point where one of the Erics win. It's a back and forth battle, but one of them win. At first, I'm like, damn, are they gonna do a thing at the end where he's gonna be like, hey, I'm the fucking cool Eric, and then they're gonna be like, are you actually seriously the cool Eric? And they don't do that. Eric takes his sword, he jumps on that bitch seppuku style, kills himself for killing his family and disgracing his family. So that was interesting. I didn't think we needed to lose both of those Erics in that scene, but that's how it went. That's how it went. It was emotional scene on set. Everybody really huddled up around that scene, I guess. Afterwards they talked about it. They said they cried. So yeah, that was good though. I'm not trying to bullshit on it. It was good. So let's go ahead and end with the Greens and how they end it, because they're just motherfuckers and they're just doing crazy shit. So they give us a lot to talk about. Aegon has all of the rat catchers huddled up because they catch the one blood and cheese guy that killed their son, and he's like, hey, I did it with one of the rat catchers. I don't know what his name is. They're like, okay, well, fuck you. The king kills him. They show that. Instead of going to the funeral, that's what he's doing. He's fucking that guy up. And he says, okay, cool. So round all the rat catchers up, kill all of them, just so we know we got them. He's actually cool with that decision. Otto, you have people over there crying. They're hung in the streets. Just people are fucking crying. It's sad. It's sad shit. Like, a lot of people were rat catchers, honestly, in this time. A lot of rat catchers. It also, by the way, it means a lot of open availability or opportunities, I should say. So, I'm a glass half full guy. So that's one thing to think of. If you're seeing that, you're like, oh shit, like fucking 18 jobs just opened up at the castle. But it's like, do you really want that? It's a big deal who's in management at the castle at that time. They might have you fucking killed. So yeah, he killed all of them. He got them. You do see they did get all the killers in this. Everybody that killed the kids. They didn't even get the fucking head back to Dragonstone. They really didn't. They didn't get the other end of their, all right, look. Obviously, don't kill fucking kids. That's fucked up. But one thing I will say that's even more fucked up is if you kill a kid and you don't get the second half of the payment for doing that. Like, that's fucking crazy. So one of the last three things these guys did in their life, they maybe like held the door open for somebody on the way out or did some shit like that. Didn't make up for the one thing. Didn't make up for that. These guys fucking killed a kid and then didn't get paid for it and then didn't even get to enjoy the rest of their life. Sometimes thinking about that. Yeah, that's wild. So fucked up. But I wasn't rooting for him. They caught all of them. It's good. I'm glad they're burning in hell. So like I said, he kills them. He's like, hey, fuck you. Otto comes in. He's like, what the fuck, dude? You fucked everything up. We had the whole parade for your decapitated son at the beginning of the episode, and you fucked that up big time by doing this. You undermined that. Just erased it. It was for nothing. You had your sister queen wife in the streets crying, having a fucking panic attack. Oh boy, and that scene was done really well, by the way. I will say, when they got caught in that pothole I was talking about earlier, and the sister wife queen was like, "Oh, you could feel her anxiety." I just want to salute the actress that plays her. You're really good at being fucking weird as fuck and like uncomfortable. So you nailed it. But Otto just starts going off on him. He's like, "You are just a dumbass." He's saying a bunch of long words that just all mean you're a dumbass, and petulant, all kinds of just killing his ass. And this is where they bring up Viserys again, by the way. So you get to see the kind of parallel of how his legacy is kind of thought of. And with Otto, who was his hand twice, he's really looking back on those times as if that was like stability in the kingdom. And, he flat out says that we're at one point, Aegon II is like, my dad's dead. Fuck whatever he wanted. Fuck what that asshole wanted. I destroyed his model fucking city. And Otto's like, yeah, we're way better or way worse off for that. So it's just interesting to see that there are people that appreciated Viserys. And in this point where you're seeing people act off of impulses, to Michael's point, that's a theme throughout the episode. And the same character that said that is saying this here. So it's a interesting tie-in. But yeah, I think he, kind of admires in a way Viserys's willingness to allow things to play out and not overly act on emotions and have mercy. I mean, he let fucking Daemon go when he, by all means, could have killed Daemon several fucking times, and maybe should have, maybe fucked up with that. But, he showed mercy a lot of times. And you see Daemon, somebody he showed mercy to, even, how he views him earlier in the episode. I'm interested to see if that's the same view he carries to the end, but he sees it as like, as if his brother had some kind of, Viserys had some kind of personal vendetta against him and was jealous of him and was afraid for him to rise to power. It's interesting to see these kind of like views on Viserys, who genuinely was, nothing but like supportive to that character Daemon, who was a fucking psychopath. So either way, yeah, they go in. Cole's over there telling them, "Hey, don't talk to the king like that." Shut the fuck up, bro. Nobody wants to hear you. He is just the most unlikable piece of shit ever. Everybody's acting like he's cool, by the way. Everybody, like, as far as like, nobody wants to know where the fuck this guy was. I will say Eric asked him after he presses Eric. He's like, "Where the fuck were you when the kid was getting his head cut off?" He's like, "Where were you?" And that's when he's like, "But you need to go. Okay, if you're going to talk about that, if you're going to start asking that." That is actually what happened. He said, "Oh, if somebody, okay, hey, if you're going to start asking the question everybody in this fucking kingdom should be asking, you need to go, because you're having a lot of common sense right now. Leave." So either way, he's being a dickhead there while Otto is trying to talk to his grandson. And he even tells him, "Shut the fuck up. This is my grandson, asshole." Nobody mentions like, "Dude, didn't you get promoted to your position 3 days before this kid got fucked up?" He fails like no one else. And what I mean by fails like no one else, Aegon fires his grandfather, fires Papaw's ass, and then promotes again. Bro, within a week, this motherfucker, Sir Cole, got promoted to Hand of the King, all while fucking the mom of the person promoting him. It's really fucking diabolical. Like, nobody fails like this motherfucker. Like, this guy fails up on a fucking escalator. Like, he cannot be stopped. There's no move that he can make that's bad enough. Like, when he makes bad moves, he's rewarded for it almost every time. When he dies, it will be like, almost, for me, almost equal to Joffrey. I'll be honest. I literally hate this motherfucker a lot. And all that, by the way, to say this, he ends up saying, "Okay, I'll be king. I mean, I'll be hand to the king. Cool. I'll take that. Thank you. Okay, leave, grandfather." Then he goes and fucks that guy whose position he just took. He goes and fucks his daughter and fucks the king's mom. Bro, this shit is fucked up. Sir Cole is the villain, is the antagonist. He is a fucking White Walker in the flesh. He might be the Night King. I'll be honest. He might literally be the Night King with flesh. So yeah, he's a cold brother moving through the castle. Disgusting fucking creep. Otto even, God bless Otto, because Aegon's like, give him your fucking badge, bitch, before you leave. And he's like, okay, I'll give him the badge. Psych, pick that up. It wasn't more disrespectful than what Cole was about to do, which was go fuck his daughter. But it was what he could do, at the end of the day. And he fired his hand. Now he's basically doing, fire. He wants to surround himself with yes men. He doesn't even know this dumbass Sir Cole, by the way. He mentions, he's like, what the fuck have you done for my child since my kid got beheaded? He hasn't done anything, but he's asking other people what they've done. What have you done since my kid got beheaded? He's like, Sir Cole sent the twin over there to do twin magic on their bitch ass. What have you done? While he's firing this guy, he has no idea that twin magic failed. Twin magic failed. Twin magic got killed. And if twin magic succeeded in any way, it's because the other twin decided to kill himself in shame. But he did not succeed in his mission. I will stay close. The mission was more successful than what it deserved to be. I'll be honest. That mission was more successful than what, hey, you look like somebody that works over there. Go act like you're him and get close to the queen. It was more successful than what that should have been, in my opinion. Michael, you said even Kristen wasn't expecting that. No, that's facts. Like when he got promoted, he's like, God damn, I'm good at this shit. But he's not. He's like, but I keep fucking up. But if they're gonna keep on giving me promotions and like new suites in the castle that I never stay in, because I only stay in this guy's mom's suite and fucking pound that, just crazy, man. And she didn't even have to put in a word for him. That's the nuts part. He did it on his own. And same thing with the other kid. That's why I wonder if they look at him like a stepdad a little bit. I wonder if they low-key know, like how Jamie Lannister's daughter, she was like, oh, I knew the whole time, and kind of withheld that as a character. I wonder if you have some of that between Aegon and Aemon, where they know that this guy's been fucking their mom. God, sad days in the castle, man. Sad days in the Red Keep. What we got coming, I mean, definitely we have War with Dragons. Like Michael said about the nuke thing, I definitely want to highlight that, bro, because that is where we're definitely headed, is Nukesville, Nuketown 2020, fucking whatever. And they really treat it like that. And when you see the previews for the upcoming episodes, you see that that is some of the dialogue that's really highlighted, is that once you move towards a war with dragons, everybody's fucked. Everything's destroyed. And I think even in the last week, you had some dialogue that I don't think we heard this week, where they were saying like, basically they're saying like the infantry and stuff like that, they're useless. They're cannon fodder in this war. So I think that's where we're moving. You have now at this point a move of aggression from Rhaenyra in a way, which they really have protected her character a lot, not letting her, make those really, I don't want to say complex decisions, because she is saying like, hey, son for a son, but they're protecting her from the guilt of what actually happened. And I feel like they've done that a few times this season specifically. And I think it's been more clear than ever in the series, even from season 1, I think, to this season. It's more clear that the protagonist slash good guys, I don't want to, it's not that clear. And that's what's so beautiful about Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, because these characters are complex. So I know they're going to continuously make you question, what is a good guy, what's a bad guy, and all that. But if you have a team to root for, in my opinion, I think it's obvious. Team Black, they're getting fucking shafted left and right. Disrespected. Those people on Team Green are selfish, self-absorbed, unaware, fucking megalomaniac cocksuckers. Especially Alicent, she's nasty. No, but for real, Alicent is going crazy. She won't even let Sir Cole do his job. At the end, after he replaces her dad, he's like waiting in her room or whatever, which I thought was crazy. He's supposed to be guarding the room. He's just waiting in the bed. Like, nah, bitch, I'm getting that now. He's like, no, I'm here for, what I'm here for. I know he said we're not doing that anymore, but I'm not a fucking Knight's Guard or whatever the fuck. It's the hand of the king now, which is also crazy. The king's hand is fucking the king's mom. You can't use the king's hand to do that. That's fucked up. God. Although, I mean, you really can't judge when you're Targaryens and you're fucking your sister, wife, queen. So, but still, it's wild to do that. God, give the pin back, give the badge back. He wasn't the man for the job. And we know that as a viewer, we know that. So it'll be interesting to see. Now, Sir Cole, I never really viewed him as a cerebral, thoughtful character, or even particularly as like a great, like, war mind. Like, it seems like he's just a fucking glorified bodyguard, to be honest, and he's fucking horrible at it. So for him to have failed upwards to the point of basically like vice president is just fucking incredible. And just fuck you, bro. But hey, game recognized game. Game definitely recognized game. He went crazy. So the thing, but my point was saying that is I don't know how formidable he'll actually be as a hand. This may be his kind of like undoing as far as like why he dies, making like being above his pay grade, really, like the kind of games that you're playing as the hand of the king. I just don't think he was ever really built to play like that. Whenever he really tried to make a move, it was always the worst move possible and the most obvious move with the least tact. So him as a tactician, I don't get it. I don't, like I kind of, to be honest with you, I kind of think they did a bad job with the writing there, because I feel like me as a viewer, it's a hard time for me to buy him as that character, as Hand of the King, and to see his ascent, it doesn't make any sense as the viewer. Not even just because he's fucking his mom or whatever. That's part of it, but I think it's hard to see it as anything more than just him kind of being like wedged into that position based off of whatever storyline they want to tell. But there's just no characteristics or anything like that in my opinion he's shown himself that he's going to be right for that job. I guess because he sent the twin, that just sent it over to the next level for Aegon, where he's like, well, you did something. It wasn't even a smart move. That's why I'm like, it's not as if he made like this genius move, although he did call it brilliant. So maybe he felt like it was. Maybe I'm underestimating it. You guys let me know in the comments. Am I underestimating twin magic? It did work for the Bella twins a lot in the WWE. So maybe I am sleeping on that. People do get confused with twins. And when they were in the same room, I did get thrown off. That's why I was half expecting the one to kill the twin. I was hoping the one would yell out, "It's me! I'm the one that you are." You know what I mean? Like, but so I was half expecting after that for them to have a whole twin Spider-Man mix-up or something. Like, is he not? And even maybe him play the long game. And just wait like a little bit and then play with that for the rest of the season. Is it the right twin? That would have been kind of fun. If it was me, I'll say before I get off here, he had a twin. The first thing you do is when you separate those two twins, you change how the one looks. He's got to shave his fucking eyebrows off. No beard, bro. You can't sit there and rock the same look that you guys were rocking twinning. Absolutely not. We got to switch up the look, makeover. Maybe a fucking brand on your face. Definitely some tattoos on the forehead, Post Malone type shit. Something so we could tell the difference. I mean, nobody thought about the twin magic play. I'll tell you one thing. They're never going to have another twin in their employment without marking them up somehow and making sure at least get employee badges or some shit to tell the difference between one another. That was a mistake. You even had him continue to wear the same fucking armor. Get him some new armor. Paint that shit black. If you would have painted that black, it would have been hard. That's about it. So that's the review. You already know what time it is. Sit and Politics. Subscribe. Share this with somebody that watches House of Dragon or that you're trying to convince to watch it. I know how that is. Many people, Game of Thrones, I had to knock motherfuckers over the head to get them to watch it. People that I love and that should respect my opinion had to, so let me kind of sell them on it. Send this to them. Let them know House of Dragons. Watch it. It's good shit. It's good TV. I'll do this every week. It'll be Monday, Tuesday when I get it in. I'm sure. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, I gotta try to watch this around my daughter. She can't be seeing all the crazy fucking incest, murder, crime, mystery shit that's going on. So, I go ahead and I watch this when I can. I hop on and I bring this to you guys and let you know real, live, uncut, what it is, what it's gonna be, probably. In my real honest opinions, and we get into whatever. But on this channel, we talk about all kinds of things. Share this with anybody that gets into sports, hip hop, current events. We get on here, we argue. I do have something coming, by the way, from the Pride Parade. We went up to St. Pete, and we just went and we parlayed with the community and checked them out, and got some interviews, and it was interesting. So I should have some content from that coming. That was very interesting. It was fish out of water, not something that we not a place that me and the guys that went and did the interviews and stuff like that would usually be. So it's very interesting, and it was cool. Good content coming. Like I said, most of all, share this stuff, man. Help us grow. It's been tough growing over the past 6-7 months or so. YouTube's really, been fucking your boy, putting me in the fucking blender. Not helping me get these videos out. So it helps when you guys definitely, share the content, help get it to more people. And we do this thing organically on all social medias. You can get in touch with me: Instagram, Twitter. I'm probably actually going to get on there and just start talking crazy shit because I feel that way right now. I would go longer on this live because I'm loving it. Michael, I appreciate you for rocking with me, bro. It's been a lot of fun. But I want to keep it House of Dragons for the people that are watching this. So the next stream usually would be on Tuesdays. I usually do Tuesdays. I might even still do Tuesday. I wasn't planning on doing it this week because I got that the interview video that I'm planning on editing and dropping. So I was going to wait a little bit and then drop that. But Tuesdays, definitely not this Tuesday, next Tuesday. And then we get in here and we do stuff randomly. We do UFC live streams and we'll watch the fights and talk about them sometimes. So all kinds of stuff, man. You were great in the comment section just to chop it up with, bro. It was a lot of fun getting in here and talking about Game of Thrones. I mean, House of Dragons. See, keep me honest. Keep me honest, brother. And yeah, you did do that, by the way, in the comments. You definitely brought some shit up that added to the conversation, and I thank you. And if you're not already subscribed so we can keep on chopping it up. Catch me on Instagram or Twitter, and we can chop it up more about more shit, man. Go check out Michael. Michael's the man. And House of Dragons, Sit and Politic, vibing. Much love. It's real.